Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everybody? What's going on, Chip? Good to see you on this evening, this beautiful crypto evening. We've got a lot of things we want to dig into. There was some rumor that 6,500 pharmacies are somehow connected or will be connected to the XRPL. They might have access to XRP payment systems. That's the rumor. So that's going to be interesting. A little bit of FOMO out there. Some Ripple controversy. We got to figure out, why is there always Ripple controversy? Isn't?
I think what's more interesting is the fact that your mic just went out, Jeff. Something just happened to your microphone.
Yeah.
There.
Uh-oh.
Now it's back. I didn't hear your mic for a second, but now it's back.
Then back. I'm back. But guess what? Trump is shaking up DC.
In a good way.
In a good way. So we're going to dive into the shallow end head first to minimize impact.
To maximize impact. Maximize the impact, Jeff. That's why you jump in the shallow end head first. Bam.
That's right.
That's how you break your neck.
That's how you break your neck. Don't do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Charles Krauthammer,
boys and girls.
Before he passed away, he was a good voice in the good conservative voice. That's how he became paralyzed.
Yeah,
head first
crazy.
Into the
It's crazy too, and I think we've all done that once or twice in our lives.
Yeah, you know how you hit your head and they go,
and you hit the you boom. Oh yeah, you definitely feel weird.
Break your neck.
Some people, yeah, some people unfortunately
get a concussion, then you go drive a car.
That's right.
Here we go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
What's up, On the Chain people?
What's up, people?
What's up, Jim D says, never sell all your XRP bags. We can soon stake into liquidity pools for income. That's exactly right, man. Jim D was saying, hey, we're probably maximizing over AI. You're very, very close for the Yeti promo. Very close indeed. It's more about the Yeti than it was about the lyrics, but that's how it is. By the way, you thought there was a banger yesterday. Holy cow. Get your earmuffs out. This one is like a banger tonight. Wowza.
You might need some earplugs.
You might need some earplugs is probably not a bad idea. My God, I was like, I had to turn on my volume. I was like, tick, 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 tick. Turn on the volume. Yeti, look at that.
Pump up the volume.
Setting the stage for one. Who's got
one
right there?
What's up, Poker Mope? XRP driving from Houston to St. Louis and enjoying the show.
Oh, beautiful,
on
man.
the road.
Have a good safe drive. Eyes on the road, man. Eyes on the road.
That's right.
That's why sometimes if there's just video, I will explain it because we do have a lot of people that listen to the podcast. Sometimes the podcast, the voice only eclipses the actual people that show up and watch it live. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Low volume.
Low volume. I don't know why there's low volume. I don't know. Is anybody else experiencing that? Because I don't think we've changed anything on our side. I would turn your volume up on your side. That's
my Chris microphone's working.
You sound fine, Jeff. I don't hear anything.
Everything seems to be working fine.
Everything seems to be
nice, loud.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
No, I just hit the wrong button there.
Uh-oh. Losing stuff. Losing people. Checking to see if my volume was adjusted automatically, and it is.
Cash says it's good. Okay. Yeah, it's probably something.
It's all good.
Turn it up on your turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up.
Wait till the music starts. And
dun, 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 dun. Turn it up. Sounds like some Sweet Home Alabama. There we go. Badass Yetis. Let's kick it off here.
Let's get some topic going.
Let's kick it off here. Look at this right here.
6,500 pharmacies.
And this news has been floating around. This was first announced, I think, a while ago, but so it says they can gain access to XRP payment solution. This is Wellgistics Health. I went over on their website and confirmed that they did. Now, what they did, something really weird, Jeff, is they posted a video from LinkedIn, which is really no way to play it here.
Right.
But if you go to what are they called? Wellgistics Health. They did put out a video in May talking about it, but it was weird that they posted the video from LinkedIn on X. So it was something we could download. And,
a little strange.
Yeah, strange. Can't really play it. but they are a leader in pharmaceutical distribution and AI-powered prescription services. They have launched their XRP Ledger-powered XRP implementation program. Say that 6 times fast. I can barely say it once. The initiative brings blockchain-based payment capabilities via the XRPL to over 6,500 independent pharmacies, 200 manufacturers across the U.S. The program enables pharmacies to pay for products instantly, reduce network transaction fees, which they gotta love, bypass traditional banking, womp womp, and credit card networks. The rollout is announced on August 13th. Integrates with RX ERP, an e-commerce and ERP system. Provides real-time transaction management, onboarding, reporting tailored to the healthcare industry. Platform ensures compliance with HIPAA and anti-money laundering regulations while offering encrypted and traceable payments. Pro XRP attorney Bill Morgan praised the move. And that was how I initially saw, and I started looking for more topics, but Bill Morgan, which we all both had the pleasure of meeting in Australia last year at that conference, and he praised it as real utility and use for the XRP and the XRPL. He also shared a screenshot from Wellgistics showing that the program is not a future concept. Instead, pharmacies are already being onboarded. So in the announcement, Wellgistics highlighted benefits such as instant settlement, 24/7 availability, faster access to working capital. This allows pharmacies to restock inventory quickly and improve cash flow. Jeff, I don't know if you ever put a script in, and then they say like, we're working on it. Mm-hmm. Then they ping you back and they go like, I'm sorry, we're out of it. I'm like, you're a pharmacy. How are you out of it? Like when I went to my local post office, they were out of stamps. I'm like, you only have 2 jobs. You deliver the mail and you have stamps. That's all. That's like your only 2 jobs. They were actually out of stamps. I was like, how do you? And then I went to the machine. The machine was broken. I was like, come on, man. Government at work. In addition, the system also eliminates intermediaries, enabling direct transactions between pharmacies and distributors, real-time payment tracking and confirmation. You can take the rest of them, Jeff. Go ahead and read the rest of it if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I was digging into their website as we're going through this, and it's interesting because this is set up for independent pharmacies, and I was looking to see if it factors in if they're compound pharmacies. So one of the issues that definitely takes place, and I see here they have oxycodone hydrochloride. They have for pain, and they have general practice, and they have semaglutides, and they have all sorts of things here. So I'm trying to see. They have TRT, Kizatrix, FDA approved, restore testosterone levels. And then semaglutide and tirzepatide, and they've got a couple regular type of products like meloxicam and things like that. So these are independent pharmacies, and one of the issues that's taken place over a period of time has been an attack on the compound pharmacies. And so if we look at how some of these credit card companies work, where they make it difficult for some, and have made it difficult for some of these pharmacies to operate. And so if they would have a direct link in to a, crypto payment rail, then, that could resolve the complete reliance on a, typical legacy type of credit card, for an industry that could potentially, be blocked from payment rails, from traditional legacy payment rails. But I'm not sure if that's exactly, why they're doing it that way. The ultimate goal to make every aspect of pharmacy payments faster, more transparent, and entirely frictionless. I'm still going to throw this out there. I disagree with that part of it. I think that at this point, payments are fast and frictionless and transparent when you use a credit card. So, I don't see the issue from a retail perspective, doing that.
Well, you just said it.
No problem.
You just said it. Credit card, you're paying 3%.
Right. Yeah. So from the business side, it makes a big impact. So if they can replace the rail and reduce their overall cost, that's.
Well, they're eliminating banks and credit cards. That's the point. It's like they don't have any intermediaries, which was the key part of the article.
From the business side, it makes sense. From the retail side, it doesn't really matter one way or the other for us, unless they start blocking legacy payment.
But they're not
system.
talking about the retail side. They're only talking
No, I
about
know.
pharmacies and deal. That's
I get it. No, I know. I'm just putting the retail part of it. I'm
Yeah,
just
it's not
commenting a
retail.
little bit
It's not
on
a
the
retail
retail
move at
side
all.
of it. No, it's not. It's all, business, B2B or business side, business transaction side. But the other component was the block, for retail consumers to even gain access to a compound pharmacy when they started to, and this went to the previous administration, when they were taking a very legalese type of approach to some of these compound pharmacies and making it difficult for you to access them. And you think about where, if you're going through health optimization, where do most of your your pharmaceuticals come from? If you're doing testosterone or anything like that, in many cases it comes from a compound pharmacy, and those will be more independent based pharmacies.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yep, that's
I was reading a text, but I wanted to play this video.
That's okay. Yep.
I wanted to play this video. Tell me if you hear sound.
Hey, Brian Norton, CEO of Wellgistics Health. I'm actually recording here from our studio for the first time, so stay tuned for some more videos. So we've seen leading financial institutions like Santander, Amex, Bank of America, all adopting Ripple or XRP blockchain technology, and this is to streamline payments and to unlock real-time liquidity. Yesterday, we announced that Wellgistics Health is doing the same, but we're bringing this financial tech to healthcare, and we're very proud to be one of the first publicly traded companies to do it. Let's break down how it works right now. In the US, our healthcare system spends nearly $500 billion every year just on billing, insurance processing, and moving money. Half of that, about $240 billion, is unnecessary administrative waste. And we all know that that's bad for the patient, and that our healthcare system now is getting eaten alive by merchant fees, claims processing, prior authorizations, manual payment reconciliations, and inefficiencies between the payers and the providers and the clearinghouses. So that's why we've begun working with our internal tech teams and our ERP platform partners to fully integrate XRP as both a real-time payment rail and a treasury asset across the Wellgistics ecosystem. Why XRP? Mainly because it gives us what the legacy systems can't. Speed, which is settlement in seconds, transparency, which is full visibility and auditability across every transaction on the ledger, and cost efficiency, which is transactions are generally less than a penny compared to a $10 to $30 bank wire or a 3% processor fee. We're not just waiting for healthcare to fix itself. We're rebuilding the financial rails so that care can move literally at the speed of need. Check out our full announcement on NASDAQ, check out our website. If you're serious about transforming this system, join us. Whether you're a technologist, a provider, an innovator, a policymaker, we're already building it, and there's plenty of room at the table.
Pretty cool. They're NASDAQ listed as well, so they are public. So it's cool. I think really where it comes down to like more efficiencies with what they're trying to do. It's like it's
really great idea.
Because like you said, if they're trying to do a wire and all this stuff, I think the key thing here is the integration of the ERP system. So you're doing your payments, you click pay, they get paid, product goes out, done. It's all instantaneous. It's not there's no lag time. You're not dealing with, legacy stuff. And the main thing is the whole payment side of things. So they're bringing something to these pharmacies, especially if they're paying multiple vendors for stuff. It can add up pretty quickly, and it cuts into the profit side of it. Yeah. But it is interesting that they're using XRP, which is interesting because they're not using this RLUSD. They're using or any other stable coin. So it's a pretty interesting story. Let's see. I want to see Bill Morgan. I thought Bill Morgan had this is Bill Morgan's here. He had some comments on it as well. And that's kind of how I initially saw it. I didn't actually see the other one. Then I started looking around, trying to find out what's going on. But he said the information filed with the SEC by Wellgistics Health about its implementation of payments using the XRPL is fantastic. He was saying it launched yesterday, which was whenever he posted this, the 15th. What are we on, the 17th now? Yes, 3 days ago it launched.
They made the announcement on the 13th. Yeah.
Yes, states the program will enable pharmacies to pay for products and move funds instantly, cost effective. There's no need to rely on traditional banking and credit card networks. And it's interesting. They had to go ahead and apply, because they're on the net. Because they're a public company, they had to file it with the SEC. It says it also gives independent pharmacies access to blockchain based payments, calls it an XRP-based payment solution at scale. And this is all on what they submitted to the SEC. The company also serves 6,500 independent pharmacies and 200 manufacturers. So that's pretty interesting.
Yep.
You figure you deal with multiple manufacturers, it goes pretty good and pretty quick.
Yep. And guess where they're located?
In Florida.
Yep.
Of course. The free state of Florida. That's where all the good stuff comes from. That's where all the good stuff comes from. The good stuff. The good stuff, Jeff. It's always
The
good
first
stuff.
blockchain-powered healthcare payment ecosystem. I like the sound of that.
Sounds good. It's just good to see a public company moving into the arena and doing something with it, making bold announcements, filing with the SEC, actually making some, they're already doing onboards. Now, this next story, Jim D, I just want you to, Jenna, what's going on, Jenna? Jim D, I really want you to I want you to sit down. I know you're probably in your favorite jazz club right now. What was it called? Heidi's Jazz Club down there on the beach, probably in the jazz club, mellowing out, listen to the show with your headphones on. We got to meet Jim D in person when we were down there. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to just settle down, man, because I know when I looked at this story, I'm like, Jim D's not going to be happy with this next story. But I'm going to lay it on you, man. Here it is. Are you ready, Jim D? Are you sitting down?
Look at that. My dad's on.
Papa Huddle's on. Man,
Papa
we have a
Huddle's
cruise
on.
here tonight. What's going on? What's going on, Papa Huddle? Good to see him on here.
Yeah.
We had him on the show that time. I remember that. Yuppers, you see? He says yuppers. That's where he is. Okay, well, you're sitting down, a comfortable thing. Hope you got a drinky poo in your hand. Here we go, Jim D. Brace yourself. That's right. The U.S. Treasury is considering adding digital ID checks to DeFi smart contracts to, fight illicit finance. This is what they do. They want to fight illicit finance because, all those baddies that are using crypto, Jeff.
That's right.
Isn't it funny that government will always government? It's like, doesn't matter what government does. Government will always devolve into doing dumb government stuff, right? We gotta know who's doing this. We have to know who's
Digital
messing with these.
Digital ID checks. Man.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's Cointelegraph. Who knows, man? I mean, what does that mean? They're considering it. They're considering lots of things. So who knows? But I knew Jim D would not like it. I knew he wasn't going to be happy about that. So.
And what it, fuck. And what exactly are we talking about? With a digital ID check. There's already some talk about, and I, which state was it? New York, talking about adding a 0.2% tax.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like
I mean, listen, if it's a blue state, they're always figuring out how they can add more taxes.
That's right.
Yep. And then they do stuff like clever. They'll call it something climate related. They'll call it, they'll have something around. It's just there's always new clever ways to tax people, because if you think you're doing it for a good cause, you'd be like, well, yeah, I'd be willing to do a little bit more. And I'm like, Jeff, what was the Boston Tea Party? It was over 2 or 3% tax. We raised holy hell over 2 or 3% tax, and now it's like it's insane what the tax has gotten up to.
No, people are good with anything.
But I'll tell you one of the things that he mentioned in there that I'm not sure if you caught, the Treasury aspect of it. Check this out. These are the treasuries right here that are going to be using companies adding XRP to their treasuries. So you've got Tridentity, 500 million. You've got Weebus, 300 million. You've got Vivo Power, which we have all heard about, in conjunction with Flare, that's going to be powering some heavy liquidity, 121 million. We got Wellgistics at 50 million. We got Hyperscale at 10. Workspot. Now, Jeff, this didn't exist a year ago. There was no treasuries. I mean, thanks to Michael Saylor, and I never forget the man who dug the well. They thought he called him Crazy Town. They called him nuts. But Michael Saylor is the guy that basically invented, keeping Bitcoin as part of your treasury.
Right. What do they have? Let's see. I forget what number they're up to right now.
It's an insane amount of money. The thing is that I wonder how it's affecting the stockholders, because the problem is everything's now heavily linked to the treasury versus the company performance. And this is going to happen with a lot of organizations out there where if you're buying the stock, I think that there's going to be some devaluation going on there at some point. So that's potential.
Yeah, it is. 500 as of July 8th, 597,325 Bitcoins.
Yeah. I mean, think about this. Saylor at one point, if he gets up to 1 million, there's 21 million that will be minted, but we know 4, 5, 6 million's gone forever, right? So we probably will be conservatively around 15 to 17 million ever minted. So many people lost so many early days.
Yep.
and he'll own 1/17th. He owns 1/32 right now.
It's unreal.
That's a lot. That's a lot of Bitcoin, man. But
It's
the
a-
other thing I
it's an
wanted to
unreal
focus
amount.
on, if you look, Jeff, look, this
Unreal.
is interesting, right? So look where these companies are located. You know, you got China, you got the UK, you got the US here, you got Canada. So it's kind of spread out. It's not exclusively US, even though we see a lot of US there, but
However, mostly U.S.
it's mostly US. But I think this is a really interesting development for sure.
Yeah. No, it definitely is, especially since, there's been a lot of talk about an XRP ETF. So as we start moving towards the ETF direction and we start seeing companies talking about putting in their treasury, now we're talking about consistent valuation, right? Now, now there's entities that are valuing the further holding of the asset. The ETF is going to bring it further mainstream. These companies are taking that first big leap, like, we were just talking about, similar to what Michael Saylor did. So it's big news. It definitely is something that 6 months ago, we couldn't have really talked about.
Well, not only that, but I just look back, like even a year, 2 years ago, ETFs. Yeah, there was conversation about it. But with the lawsuit going on, with the SEC going after Ripple,
People couldn't do it.
It couldn't do it, right? So you've got these ETFs. There's 18 to 20, something in the process. You've got now XRP as part of Treasuries, and then I think the biggest thing is Trump signing the executive order that now allows these 401ks to basically ape into crypto, which is phenomenal because I would always ask Fidelity, like, hey Fidelity, when can I do it? And they're like, yeah, I can't. And I asked my bank, and they're like, this is funny because I had asked my bank, and they said, I don't see that happening. Maybe in a couple years. And they go, and even if they do implement it, it'll take 2 years. The next week, the news comes out about Chase Bank is going to start that deal with Coinbase. So interestingly enough, this is a controversial. I thought this was really bold. This is what you call connecting dots right here, Jeff. But this was interesting. So Patrick Riley put out this poll for XRP holders only, and when he asked a simple question: are you vaccinated, unvaccinated, or show the results? So 65% of XRP holders that took this poll, out of 18,000 votes, that's your sort of a group we're working with. Right. Sample group is, almost 18 and a half, almost 19,000. Look at that. It's amazing. So you have 65% of XRP holders unvaxxed versus vaxxed. What does that tell you?
That tells you a lot. That's good.
Tells you a lot of people are thinking for themselves. They're reading stuff.
Some freedom thinkers. It's so important. It's good to see that.
Yeah, thank you for having Paul's the postest brother during the pandemic. I was refused service and entry to many places countless times for being unvaccinated, unwilling to wear a mask, was forced by 3 grown men out and banned from Costco for not complying with the mask mandate. Yep. It was just lifted 2 weeks after that incident. Haven't bought anything from there ever since. Was laughed at, insulted, cursed out, even threatened. So, a lot of the stuff that went along with that. He just said, great.
We were just talking about that earlier. We were at the shooting range, then went out for coffee afterwards, and this topic came up again. So we're like, is this nostalgic talk that we're talking about COVID again? But that topic exactly came up, which was how easily people were swayed into, groupthink, and just like a mindless groupthink to do things that are so irrational, yet there's still irrational things happening today. People are still wearing masks, thinking that those masks actually, did something. And yet they'll wear them outside. They'll wear them in their cars by themselves. They're running around with, I guess, gloves if you really don't want to touch anything. But, you've got to be able to, deal with germs a certain way, especially since now that, we know that the treatments that were available then are still available now, that actually took care of it. And, there's so many things that can be done, but it just kills me that, all the things that had happened, but it's good to see that.
This is funny. Jenna says the ones who were mad about the survey were vaxxed.
Probably. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Probably exactly what it was. But the funny thing about it was, like, I was just thinking, like, I really thought, like, has everybody gone crazy town? Because here's me thinking 6 feet away. I'm like, okay, this is an incredibly smart virus that knows as long as you're 6 feet away, we'll avoid you. And as long as you sit down, then you can take off your mask.
Right.
And then I'm not going to
As
bother
long
you.
as
But
you're
I'm going to be looking around for other people that I can mess with. I'm like, is anybody listening to this? Is anybody paying attention to how ridiculously stupid this is?
People, the whole notion of real science just went out the door. When a virus is smaller than the fibers of these masks that you're wearing, it doesn't make any sense. The idea that as soon as you got on an airplane, you had to wear the mask on the plane, but soon as they walked around with the food cart, then you could take your mask off. But God forbid, as soon as you were done eating, you had to put the mask back on. And like you said, in the restaurant, you could have someone standing next to you with a mask on. You're sitting down without your mask on because you're eating, and people are walking by. I'm like, this just makes no sense. Like, none of it made any sense. It was so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
don't you remember Andrew Cuomo was like, hi everybody, and he's eating French fries. You can actually have a burger if you get vaxxed. Just put something in your arm nobody knows about. And the other thing was too is like there were like places where I would drive by and they would have like set up in a park, and people were just driving by with their arms out the window wearing masks and helmets, and I'm like, yeah, just trust us. We're gonna. And then they had to change the definition at the CDC. It was like they changed the definition from vaccine prevents to could help prevent.
Could help, right?
To I'm like, if you got to change the definition, and I would always say to people, "Did you get your polio booster?" Like, why would I do that? I'm like, exactly that's because that's a vaccine, and that vaccine prevents polio. Why would you get a booster? Why would you get a booster? How many boosters did you get? And I heard somebody else used this good comeback with me. They go like, you sound vaccinated. Cloudy head, not a real good thinker. You sound vaccinated. So vaccination people. Anyway, we go on and on about that.
But again, the one thing that, came up like with the kids, we made sure that they were able to just live a normal existence. Going out every weekend, making sure we went out to restaurants, making sure they were playing sports, and that's something we were talking about earlier today. The same thing, either that, we're going over to each other's homes, going in the pool, or, we're out every weekend going someplace. Sometimes we're the only ones in the restaurant, but we made sure to go out. We're down at the beach and then go out to eat, at the tennis court, making sure they had their tennis lessons. And it was, it's just a normal existence other than in school. They had to wear the mask or they were doing the homeschooling, but even the homeschooling, it's like, all right, this weekend we're going out.
Yeah. Jim D says hiding from viruses with a mask is like farming your own viruses while hiding from mosquitoes behind a chain link fence, hoping to be on the right side of the wind. That's exactly the way it was. And I got in so many arguments to the point of where my doctor wouldn't see me. They go, are you vaccinated? I'm like, I told you, we've had this conversation. I'm not getting vaccinated. And when I went in there and I was dealing with the PA because my doctor just basically told me to go F myself because I was asking too many questions. He actually said that, yelling that down the hall to me. I'm like, oh, just go see the PA. And she was screaming at me and like, you got it. And meanwhile, the nurse that came in to take my blood said she was in she took out the vaccine. She said she was in the hospital for 10 days and almost died. I said, did you take it because they made you? And she says, yeah. I'm like, I'm so sorry to hear that. And what was funny was a couple years later, I went back, saw my old PA, which she was fantastic. And I said, remember when I was in here last time? She's like, yes. And I go, you remember how that conversation went? She's like, I do. You want to say anything? I'm sorry. She goes, I'm really sorry. I mean, we were just, nerves were frayed and stuff. I was like, you were screaming at me at the top of your lungs like I was some kind of crazy person.
But it amazed me that it was these medical personnel that they just weren't willing to think for themselves, and do their own research. They just believed anything that was, fed to them, many of them, because that was the only way they could keep their jobs. But
Ed's done with the FTC. Crypto Web says I still have 9,000 masks from AliExpress. Sold about 41,000 of them. Made some easy money. Hey, listen, if snow cones are in, you'll have a snow cone machine, right? When masks are in, you're like figuring out a way to monetize and make. I remember I bought like one because I remember going into like Publix, and Publix is like they come up to me, sir, you're not wearing a mask. Like, that's correct. And you can't come in here. I said, listen, do you know my doctor? And they go, no. I go, well, that's great because it's between my doctor and I. My doctor is very specific about why he doesn't want me to wear a mask. Get your manager, bring him over here, and we'll have a conversation about my doctor. He's like, go ahead. It was like, and then it was like I was going out to Delray on the avenue there with all the shops, and I took pictures of it, like selfies. We're all hanging out, a bunch of friends, and my buddies, my Catholic school buddies, my boys. I would send them the picture, and they go, "Chip, where is that?" I'm like, "It's Florida." Like, where did you take the picture? I go, "Just now." They go, "What do you mean? There's like people everywhere." I go, "I know. Welcome to the free state of Florida." They go, "Is that now? There's like people in restaurants and everywhere." I go, "Yeah, we don't wear masks." I go, "Haven't you? I mean, what do you guys?" They go, "We're not allowed to go outside." I'm like, "Okay, be a good boy."
Crazy. That was New York, Michigan, any of those places.
Be a good little boy. But look at this, Jeff. I talked about this the other night.
Right.
I found this. Check this out.
There we go. It's a little blurry for a second.
I'm going to make it bigger, but it's here. It says to be clear, when interest rates drop, Circle and Tether will lose a lot of revenue. Remember, they hold interest-bearing treasuries. So when the interest rates drop, they're going to need more than a stablecoin to maintain. This is why Circle had to go public. They needed to raise money. This is why Ripple doesn't have any intention of raising any money. Ripple want to do the quarterly reporting and all the hassles that go with being a public company? No. This is probably why they decided to launch their own chain to generate revenue, because tax rates are coming in September. But just look at this, Jeff. So here's the impact of a 50-point balance cut, or a 50-point cut right here, basis point. Look at this, $309 million, 152 million gross, cuts their gross profit from 853 to negative 150. This is insane. And if it's 1 basis point, man, it's just like there's no. So a 50-point base revenue point would be, gross revenue would be down 300 million. You'd have gross profit down 152 million gross, and this is just, you're talking about a half point, right? Right. I mean, it's insane. EVGP gap valuation up 7.5%, and then the valuation up 18.2x. This is crazy. So this is why these other companies, and again, it does make sense why they created their own payment network, because they can charge fees. They had to invent. They did it out of necessity. They didn't do it because they thought it was a good idea. They did it to stay alive. Sure, they've got runway because they raised a lot of money, but this is, and Tether's crushing it.
Yeah, Tether had first mover advantage almost. They were one of the first out there that everybody was using. So that was something.
They were one of the big names out there, the ones that were really sort of doing it. Jeff, we're at the halfway mark. You know what it's time
we are
for?
at the yeah, I think I do. Let's see if we can cue this up. Let's get this ready. I recommend, if you guys like loud metal, then get ready, because this is going to be exciting. If not, then too bad. But let's get this ready to go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Cover your ears. Man, at the shooting range, I was double ear protection today. Man, it was still loud.
Still loud.
Still loud. All right, here we go.
Are you ready to? With a badass Yeti from the Blue Tribe, the word of the day. Drum and wallet ready. Why? 'Cause this is gonna be epic. It's time to claim your legendary Blue Tribe Yeti of the clan. Let's go! On the chain! Badass Yetis! Born for battle! Made
There you go. By the way, D, you'd Blinker wants to know, what is this childish stuff? Pure epic cringe. Listen, we do an original song for every NFT Badass Yeti giveaway. And listen, D, when you open up your own podcast, have fun with it, man. Create your own unique NFT, and then go ahead and create a whole story behind it, and then make your own songs. That's what I say. But happy you're cringing over it. Bears are 14, the Bills are 0. It's preseason, man. It's preseason.
I'm trying to think over here.
You can't after that.
Why do I feel like tapping the ceiling with my broom?
Yeah, I'm just telling you, that's probably speed metal right there. That was a little bit much. I don't know if we can listen to that again. Chad loved the ending though.
Yeah. Hey, you identify as childish.
No, I don't identify, bro. I am childish. Okay. You may identify as all kinds of things if that's your flavor. I don't identify as anything. I am or I'm not. There is no identifying. I leave that to the lefty nut jobs, so they can identify all they want.
That one was really loud.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And you see the Dolphins beat the Lions yesterday. That was exciting.
Well, it's preseason. Nobody cares. They're just trying to figure out what guys are going to cut to make the roster. Can you guys do a drum and bass Yeti song? Put that down, Jeff. Drum and bass for next.
A drum and bass Yeti song. Yes.
Respect. Okay, thank you, man. And it's cool, man. You don't have to agree with us. This is a free conversation.
That's right.
Yeah, we love dissent. You don't disagree. You can say anything you want. So it's great about here, free speech zone. As long as you're not going to, go a little bit overboard and do, come after people. It's a little different story. But we like dissent too. You can't agree with everything, and of course it'd be ridiculous to agree with everything, Jeff.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Jeff and I agree with everything we say, and I try to sometimes we got to really push it to go a little bit different. I wanted to put David Schwartz on here. This is David.
Said get electronic earmuffs. I already have them. Still double.
Yeah. Today I was out in the back I was in the back, and I had the soundproof things on, and I had my earbuds in, and I had the cut thing, and it was still loud. Yeah, freaking still loud. But here's David Schwartz. This is like the biggest thing. And I know Jenna X is still here, but I swiped this from Jenna X. So thanks, Jenna, for posting this. But David Schwartz he was on an hour-long podcast. But one of the biggest misconception of XRP. What's going on, Ducky?
The biggest misconception is that Ripple somehow controls the ledger. It's a public blockchain. Every node enforces every rule. The consensus model doesn't control the blockchain. It's got censorship resistance, as a network feature. The XRP ledger has been running since 2012 with a global set of validators. Most of them are not affiliated with Ripple at all. We run something like 1% of the network. We are a major contributor to the ecosystem, and it is obviously very important to us. We're probably the most interested participant, and that's true. We work on providing infrastructure updates. We work on, assisting people in the community, incentivizing and attracting developers, provide developer resources, grants, and an accelerator program. But we have no interest or desire in running the network. It doesn't help. We would love for everybody to trust us completely, but people having to trust us is all downside for us. And so there's no reason we would want to run or control the network.
Yeah, and that is a big misconception. It's really well said, really well stated.
Perfect.
It's 1% of the network. It's like people control it. They don't control anything. They were gifted it by number one. They control
1%.
Yeah, it's pretty much nothing. But it is a popular misconception, Jeff. We hear this all the time.
All the time. It's amazing. Oh, look at that. Ali G. What is going on, Ali G?
Ali G's in here. I wanted to play this. So Charlie Kirk, American dude, was invited to go to Oxford to debate. And it was some kind of like a black tie event. He's got some black tie on. There's only one piece that there's a piece that I wanted to play here and how he relates it back to Britain, which I think is interesting. And I just think it was lost on these university kids. I just feel like a lot of it was lost. I watched the whole thing. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to have to start it right around the 2-minute mark because he goes through a bunch of things.
Again, my prepared remarks, I feel like.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's go into... There he is.
I like it. They actually have these open debates over there at Oxford.
It is great that they're having debates and it's public and they're inviting different people to kind of sit in. Yeah. The faces they were making while he was talking was just awesome. I mean, they're just like rolling their eyes and laughing and So here he is. So they're all dressed up. I kind of like this too.
Political party in South Africa says, quote, kill the Boers. I would expect more of somebody who wrote a dissertation and teaches here at Oxford to say that you would not know about the attempted slaughter and genocide of white South Africa.
By the way, before he got into the part that I want to play, he insulted everybody, which was fantastic.
Right. He goes around the room.
He went around the whole room about the insurrectionists and this and that. And then he said, I just want to let you know, I don't have a university degree. I never attended university, but I'm going to try to keep up with all you.
Yeah.
So that was pretty, that was pretty
he
fun.
runs circles around them.
Okay, now on to, I'm sure there's lots of POIs, and I will talk uninterrupted. Now to my remarks, but actually, is that all of it? Let me see here.
Look at him laughing at him.
Yeah, that's just a taste. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here tonight. Thank you to the Oxford Union for inviting me.
He's in enemy territory, Jeff.
Right.
I never went to university. I take that as a great compliment. So therefore, everyone who went to university should be able to run circles around me. You'll be the judge, but I'll do my best. Has Donald Trump gone too far? Well, I can nitpick at how vague that question is. What is too far, exactly? Are his tweets too long? Can all of us even agree on what we're aiming at? I don't think so. The truth is this. If you dislike the West, and if you hate the West's values, if you think the West is evil fundamentally and deserves to be destroyed, then anything Donald Trump does basically short of surrender will be too far for you. If I was visiting this school 100 years ago, speaking in support of an American president, I think we would at least have some broad agreement on what a country's leader should be trying to do. But we don't anymore. I don't think it's because America's changed. In fact, I think it's because Britain has changed. From my perspective, Britain is one of the greatest countries in the history of the world. You were the country of Shakespeare, the steam engine, and Adam Smith. You defeated Napoleon, you destroyed the slave trade, you stood up to Hitler. My country, America, became great as it is because of what we inherited from you, from Britain. When I hear the slogan, "Make America Great Again," I'm also hearing, quote, "Return America to its British roots." Great Britain has everything in the world to be proud of. But when I look at Britain today, I see a country where the ruling elites are in a race to abandon the very values, the values that made them so great in the first place. I wish I could blame this all on labor, all on the left, but I can't. This country just...
This is the one part I disagree with, Charlie.
Yeah.
You can, because you're going to start talking about the Tories, and Charlie, that's the left as well. Okay, so let's not play games.
Had its 14th uninterrupted year of so-called conservative rule. And what did they conserve exactly? Well, they didn't conserve the ancient British rights to freedom of speech. In Britain today, 30 people a day are arrested for offensive posts on social media, according.
Look at this kid. Look at the kid with the glasses. Keeps laughing. I don't know if it's like nervous laughter. Look, the professor in the background. He's looking straight ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend I don't hear this.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Look, he never moves. He's just looking straight out into, I don't know, the ether somewhere.
That's probably his role, though, whatever that guy is.
He might be the sergeant at arms. I don't know how this Oxford stuff works. It's way over my head.
Yeah.
But here he goes on a tirade about people getting arrested for social media posts.
Into the Telegraph. Praying silently within 600 feet of an abortion clinic can get you arrested in Scotland, as a 74-year-old woman named Rose just learned weeks ago. Members of Parliament scold British citizens for thinking they have the right to say that they do not have the right to say things that offend Muslims. 14 years of conservative rule didn't conserve British prosperity. Adjusted for inflation cost of living, the average British worker makes less today than they did in 2008. Outside of London, the British have lower incomes than every one of America's 50 states, and it never used to be this way. British industry pays 4 times as much for electricity as America does. You have the highest electricity rates in the world, a consequence of a choice of going net neutral. Nothing will kill a modern economy faster than high energy prices. And the country that invented the steam engine now has some of the highest energy prices on the planet. But above all, 14 years of conservative control didn't preserve the British nation. This country's conservatives thought it was their moral duty to allow anyone from the third world to move here. They didn't need to hold Western values. They didn't need to have useful skills. They could go on welfare immediately. Just last week, Keir Starmer announced he's changing the law to make sure immigrants who commit crimes are deported, because the conservatives never actually bothered passing that law themselves. The dying out of the British nation means the dying out of Christianity. Britain is the birthplace of Baptists, Methodists, Presbyterians, Anglicans, Quakers, and more. I would guess that more Christian denominations trace back to Britain than any other country. But soon, Britain will have more practicing Muslims than practicing Christians. I think that will be a catastrophic change, and everyone knows it. That's why it's only Muslims moving to Christian countries, never the other way around. I don't want America to go the way of Britain. I want us to remain free. I want us to remain rich and innovative. I want us to remain Christian. I don't want Americans to be replaced. But forget what I want. This is what the American people want. And in a democracy, the people are supposed to get what they want. The very same people that lecture us about democracy have a lot of problems with the consequences of democracy when the people vote a way that they don't like. And that's where Donald Trump comes in. When I was growing up, people would say that Britain was where America would be 10 or 20 years in the future. What they meant was that Britain was more left-wing than America, but we'd catch up eventually. That's just how things were over time, and nothing could stop it. I don't hear people saying that anymore. Donald Trump is the reason why. Almost alone, Donald Trump has changed the course of history. He's destroyed the assumption that the left's victory was inevitable. Under President Biden, more than 10 million illegal aliens entered America. Guides were published on TikTok explaining how to break into America. Say some magic words at the border, and nobody would stop you. Entire neighborhoods of American cities were turned over to migrants living on the dole. America was treated as a pile of wealth for the rest of the planet to plunder at will. Now that is all stopping. President Trump has cut border crossings, not 90%, not 99%, but 99.9%. For years, my country's leaders lied that the southern border was an unfixable mess. President Trump exposed them all as liars within weeks. But closing the door didn't fix the damage that Biden did. We have well over 10 million people in America who should not be in America.
20 million.
If somebody breaks into your home, you don't fix the problem by closing your door and locking it. Things aren't fixed until the burglar is kicked out. And President Trump has been fighting harder than ever to make that happen. But I'd be happy if we fought even harder. Of course, illegal migration isn't the only threat facing America. In Joe Biden's America, we had the tyranny of DEI. Even though America's Constitution explicitly
There's a lot more to play there, but I think everybody gets the gist. I thought it was important to kind of play that, but it was it's a good reminder of when you talk about, especially when it goes to law, and almost all law is based on British law, right? Early days, going back to the 1200s. You look at the Magna Carta. There's so much that you can draw parallels back to Great Britain, and you may disagree. I know that. We had some disagreement here in the comments, but I think ultimately what you find, this is so funny, it's baffling. Eisman says it's baffling the entire UK and Europe have all gotten Trump derangement syndrome and have accepted the orange man bad mentality as if it's real. That's because, Germany, look at Germany. Germany, they don't have enough power. They shut down all their nuclear power plants. They don't have enough power to power their factories.
They're reliant on gas from Russia.
Right. Remember when Trump? When Trump said that would happen?
Yeah.
When he went to the and they laughed at him. The Germans laughed at him. And who's laughing now? It's like the guy has some sort of a time machine or something.
Yeah, it's interesting too. If we start looking at the exchange rate. So here's the U.S. dollar in Canadian dollars. So it's about 38%, and then if we go to the U.S. dollar to the pound, it's about 36%, to the pound. The pound used to be like $1.80, $1.60, $1.70, something like that.
Yeah.
$1.85. This is the euro. Right now we're at about, 17% on that, so €1, it's $1.17. And then if we go to the Korean won, it's about, that same, 38%, so, it's interesting to see, this dynamic in major economies. They're all very, very close, but to that point, where the Canadian dollar has always had a little bit of a 30 to 40% difference, and then this is the shocking part. Really is the pound. To see such a deflation in the valuation of the pound. In the UK, but we're starting to see some major changes over there, and it's not good for them.
If you look at that comment right there, EU controls all media. That's why I'm Dutch. Most are getting it finally. I have to say that I'm a big fan of Eva, and I'm probably going to mispronounce her name, but Vladerbroek. Yep. She's fantastic. She's spoken out so much. She's put herself, I think, sometimes in danger. But, you know, especially the Dutch were heading in a great way in the Netherlands, you know, and then they were going conservative, but they couldn't make it work with the prime minister. So that was kind of a sad thing that ended up happening there. But I wanted to play this video here, kind of set the stage for this next sort of a topic here. Let me see if I can find the. Let's see, where is it? I had so many.
There was that point. It wasn't that long ago when it was almost 1-for-1 to the euro.
Right? It really wasn't that long ago.
But even now, it's a 17-cent difference. It's not, you know, it's crazy.
So I want to set the stage here. You know, these AI videos are good for something. They're really good for social commentary. But listen to this.
America, it's Andrew Jackson, that guy you roll up to hit some powder. I founded the Democrat Party and chose the jackass as our mascot. Now, as you can probably tell, times have changed a bit from the party back in my day, and present-day Democrats will come to hate me, but that's your problem. Jackson started the Democrat Party to appeal to the common man. Democrats today sometimes give him credit for that, but only after calling him an evil white bigot. Needless to say, the party started off pretty sketchy by today's standards. We were by far the pro-slavery party all the way through the Civil War. After the war, we cleaned up our act and supported the North's Reconstruction efforts. Totally kidding, we doubled down on racism and became the party of the Klan. But seriously, we didn't have much of a platform after the war, except Jim Crow, but that was until our boy came in hot on his rollerblades. Then came the Depression. People lost trust in markets, so I wheeled in to drastically expand communism across the country, and Democrats been hooked ever since. Up until this point, blacks had always voted Republican as they were the party that freed the slaves. But after FDR's New Deal, blacks swung 75% Democrat. This was a complete realignment, not because of civil rights, but because of economics. All while the Democrats were still the party of the Klan, and their stronghold was the South. We pushed segregation throughout the South and filibustered the 1964 Civil Rights Act for 75 days. It wasn't until Republicans stepped up and found even more votes to pass the bill. So ask yourself, how are Democrats seen as the party of the civil rights? Well, it's because
Democrats are very persuasive. But again, it ultimately boils down to economic incentives.
Oh my
Once
God.
Democrats realize the power of government spending and handouts, you can appeal to any voter group and lock them in.
1, 2, 3.
Gays for Palestine.
Good luck with that.
Look at that.
So anyway, to sum it all up, my party has changed a shit ton, but it's not because of the mythical party switch. Democrats controlled the South all the way through the 1990s. But they did adopt new policies like massive social spending and welfare programs that allowed them to appeal to more diverse voting groups.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, that's something.
Oh my God.
Oh. I mean, there's so much thought put behind that. I mean, you got the Klan in there. God, it was something else,
It
man.
amazes me what people put together. It's crazy.
That was pretty amazing. Well, just on that one here too, but here's another one. It's like, this is funny because anytime you get in a conversation, you start going back and they start talking about the righteous party. All you have to do is remember these facts right here.
Democrats fought a war to keep their slaves. Republican President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing all slaves in America. Democrat slave owners were furious. Lincoln made equality for all black people part of the official Republican Party platform. Republicans wrote and passed the 13th Amendment, ending slavery forever in the United States. Most Democrats voted against it.
Yep.
Republicans wrote and passed the 14th Amendment and granted citizenship and equal protection under the law to former slaves. No Democrats voted for it. Republicans wrote and passed the 15th Amendment, allowing black Americans the right to vote. No Democrats voted for it. The first black senator was a Republican. The first black member of the U.S. House of Representatives, a Republican and former slave. In fact, the first 23 African American members of Congress were all Republican. While Republicans were electing black people to Congress, the Democrats were founding the KKK. The KKK was founded in opposition to the Republican Party. The KKK dedicated itself to a campaign of violence against Republican leaders and voters, both black and white. The KKK wanted white supremacy fulfilled through electing Democrats. Democrat states passed racist Jim Crow laws that dehumanized black people. Republican President Dwight D. Eisenhower sent the National Guard to protect black students, integrating into all-white schools in Little Rock, Arkansas. Who opposed this?
Jeff, isn't it amazing? It doesn't take too long to really rewrite history, right? It takes a couple cycles, and people, you take people that have gotten to the university level that were never taught history, or at least never taught the real history. So to me, it's pretty insane that a lot of this has gone over their head. They don't understand it. They don't even know. And they're always shocked when they find out.
The Democrats who ran that state. A segregationist Democrat ran for president every cycle until the 1980s. The Civil Rights Act outlawed discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, or sex. By percentage, more Republicans voted for the Civil Rights Act than Democrats. Republican President Nixon used federal powers to desegregate even more states. Black Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas nominated by George H.W. Bush. His son, George W. Bush, started an AIDS program that saved over 13 million lives, mostly in Africa. President Trump restored funding to historically black colleges and universities. President Trump passed the First Step Act, achieving landmark criminal justice reforms. President Trump passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which featured opportunity zones incentivizing long-term investments in low-income communities. Under President Trump, unemployment for black Americans fell to the lowest number Americans have ever seen, and black wages rose to the highest numbers in history. Meanwhile, Democrat governor of Virginia wears blackface multiple times and remains in office while Joe Biden tells me I am not black unless I vote for him. So tell me, who are the real racists? Who wants to keep you in bondage? Be free. Live free. That is my right as an American.
Long live the Republic. Yes, indeed.
Really good. Those are good.
Man. Well, sometimes you need a little bit of history, but I'm just amazed at how it's been rewritten. It's why they want to remove all the statues of people. They want to sort of rewrite history. They want to change things. They want to basically trying to think, what was the name of that movie? Oh, gosh, I can't think of the name of the movie that I saw where it was so far in the future that they didn't even know like what a hippopotamus was. They thought it was an elephant because they had changed things so much that people didn't even know what was real anymore. I mean, they just thought it was reality. It's a great movie. You guys, if you guys remember, stick it in the comments, but it's a very good movie on the really good social commentary. And there was somebody who was the keeper of the knowledge, and that person had all the books. There's my balloons. That person had all the books, and it was a very interesting movie. It was a very
Sure. You sure that wasn't a documentary on like Harvard or something?
No, it wasn't, Shep. It wasn't on Harvard. No, it wasn't. But by the way, did you know that Trump is going to be meeting with, and Rubio and the whole administration is going to be meeting with Zelensky tomorrow in the Oval Office? I hope he's not rude this time. But anyway, this is kind of a preview of what's going to happen.
No, quiet.
Baby Zelensky.
Yeah, look at that beard.
No, don't be rude. Can you give us?
God, you gotta.
Is this really a Cloud Atlas?
Cloud Atlas. Was it Cloud Atlas? I don't think it was Cloud Atlas. It had like a simple name. Was it Cloud Atlas? No, it wasn't Cloud Atlas. Although that looks like a great movie. No, this was gosh, what the hell was the name of it? It was good.
This idiot has to wear a suit or they're not letting him in.
The Giver, that's it, Beth. Well done. It's called The Giver.
The Giver.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. The Giver. Thank you for that. I knew we have so many smart people here.
Oh, people come up with these movies. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We throw it out there and there's answers.
Yeah, this was a good. It was amazing because the whole, and you've probably seen it, Beth, if you know, but it was incredible that I guess the book was written in '93, but I think the movie's a little bit newer. Tells the story of Jonas, a 12-year-old boy in seemingly utopian but ultimately oppressive community where emotions and memories are suppressed. It explores themes of individuality, freedom, memory, and the importance of the human experience, and how much was rewritten. But it's a good one, The Giver.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a very good one. Giver versus Taker, Zelensky. Yeah, you got some funny people here. The Giver. It was The Giver.
The Giver.
It was The Giver.
All right, Chip, how many do we have registered for the Yeti?
We only have 12 guys. So type in Yeti, Y-E-T-I, for a chance to win a badass Yeti. If you want to type that in, go ahead and do it. Victor David Hanson, he actually basically is saying the Democrat Party has officially collapsed. So
Gets collapsed because by any classical definition, Mark, they lost the 2024 popular vote, the Electoral College vote. They don't have the Congress. They don't have the White House. They don't have the Supreme Court. They're 30-70 on the 30 side of all these issues from crime, the environment, energy, the border, illegal immigration. And they're frustrated. They're angry because now Donald Trump is doing something they never imagined anybody would do. He's not treating the symptoms of the progressive pathology. He's talking about the sources. So he's going after the institutions that indoctrinate people in the university, NPR, PBS, the elite law firms, and that's setting them on fire because they understand that they always exercise power irrelevant of whether they actually had political power. They had cultural, social influence through these institutions, foundations, the university, K through 12, corporate boardrooms. And now when he went after woke and ESG and PBS, it's a whole new counter-revolution, and they're melting down. I don't even think there is a Democratic Party right now. It's just an amalgamation of a bunch of different groups, but they're all way to the left. And we shouldn't fool ourselves about New York, Mark. I think it's not going to be. They may win. Mandami may win, but he couldn't win anywhere else, I don't think, other than these blue cities, and that's a minority of the population. So they're going over the cliff, and like any addict, they would rather go over the cliff than quit.
Like an addict.
I would rather go over the cliff.
He's not wrong there. We have 18 in here, so 18.
Right. And then once we play the song, then we'll
Hawthorne, Florida here.
Load up some more.
Let's go. Yeti. Type in Yeti. We got 18 in there, so you only have to type it once and only register it once. Ali G. Look at Ali G's in here playing the Yeti. Let's go.
Playing the Yeti.
Ali G has some
the
Yeti.
Yeti
Let's
game.
go. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
Oh, and Crypto Up did just throw out a membership, which is really cool too. So
he's trying to find his way back in. I appreciate it. There it is right there.
He gifted a On the Chain Live membership. So thank you for that. And for whoever you gifted it to.
Yeah, who's the recipient of that? Who was the recipient of that awesome move right there? I don't know. So don't know who exactly it was, but we got to wait for a couple. We have 20 in there. Let's go. Let's see. We got Charles is in there. Is Charles out of his I think Charles is broken out. I don't know if he has broken out or not, but do you want to play that song one more time, Jeff? Or
yeah, well,
holy cow.
It's uploading right now, unfortunately, because it's circling. So if you have another video to play,
yeah, I got something else I could play here.
I think it was a little bit out of sync the last time.
Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know why I was doing that. I think it was the video itself that was doing that. It could have been this guy.
I made one minor correction.
This guy asked. This isn't this guy. I don't know his name, but he always asks these questions, and I'm like, makes a lot of damn sense.
So in America, if you cheat to get into college, you can go to jail. But if you cheat to get into America, you can go to college for free? Of course all scientists agree. When you censor the ones who don't. Okay, so someone you deem unfit can't have a gun, but someone I deem senile can have nukes? Why is it when a liberal expresses their opinion, it's freedom of speech, but when a conservative expresses their opinion, it's intolerant hate speech?
That's a great point.
So, son, what'd you learn in school today? Multiplication tables? No. The state capitals? No. No. Spelling? No. Well, tell me what you learned.
Nothing.
Men can get pregnant.
Oh my God.
Men can get pregnant.
Nothing.
I go back to that Jim Brewer. You knew what a woman was then. That was fantastic. That TDS. That was really just fantastic.
All right, here we go. Ready? Ready for this?
Let's do it, guys. Get
What
your
are we at?
earplugs on. I gotta turn this down. This is a banger. We're gonna go drum and bass next time.
Drum and bass will be next time.
Drum and bass, guys.
We'll-
We're gonna mix it up.
We'll
We did some
tone
punk,
down
we
the
did some rock.
screaming.
We did
This
some
is the
Viking.
first thrash metal we've done. So
Speed metal.
Speed metal.
Roll it,
All right.
baby.
How many do we have in?
We've got 20. It's
20?
a good number.
All right.
We'll take it.
So we'll maybe have 24 when it's done.
Don't let
Here we-
OTC win. I didn't type Yeti, so we're good.
I didn't type Yeti either, so we're not winning.
We're not
All right, here we go.
Are you ready to? With a badass Yeti from the Blue Tribe, the word of the day. Got your thumb and wallet ready. Why? 'Cause this is gonna be epic. It's time to claim your legendary Blue Tribe Yeti of the clan Titan. Let's go! Yo! Let's go! On the chain! Badass Yetis! Born for battle! Made for legend! Claim yours or be forgotten! Badass Yetis! On the chain! It's on the
Oh, it didn't end? I was okay. I was like, that's awesome, Jeff. Man, that was awesome. Woo.
That was great.
That was crazy. That was crazy, man. Holy cow. I was drumming. I was headbanging. It was good. Woo!
The
This is the best thing. I was
Uniblink
laughing
is
so
out.
hard. No, for the love of God, not again. Please. Please. Crypto
Please
Web's
don't
already
do
in the
that.
game. Look at him. He's already going crazy.
Oh my God.
You saw George Lynch last week. Oh, that would have been a great show, man. George Lynch.
What do
I haven't heard
people
that name
pay
in a
for
long
one of these
time.
things? Well, if you go to XRP Cafe, actually, we're getting ready to give one of these away. So you got to have your Zaman wallet, and then you get that nice, badass Yeti transferred over. We are. Oh, how do I unshare everything?
What is it?
Bam, 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 bam.
One badass Yeti.
So-
it costs $4,000 US.
4,000. So if you go over here, you can you go to the badass Yetis, and we go right to the Blue Tribe. You can buy them. They're not that. You see people, they're for sale kind of across the board, or you can mint one for 16 XRP.
There you go.
There you go. 92% minted. This is the Blue Tribe. Blue Tribe's about to be completely minted out, and the badass Yeti that we are giving away today is none other than, I closed it, so now I gotta re-find which one it was.
It's
one of these
was it
items.
Jaybird or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Right. Well, the thing is, if you type in Yeti, you can you have a chance to win. We're gonna do a drawing for one, so you can win one right here. So type in Yeti,
Might have been this one.
The Uitblinker.
Oh, that was the one over on the left. It wasn't this one. Oh no, it
is on the XRP ledger, correct?
Yo,
yeah, it's on the XRP ledger.
His name is Gio. There he is, right there. Gio, look how kick-ass this guy is.
Yeah, he's a blue tribe. We also have white tribe as well. White tribe's a little bit less expensive. There's a lot more of those, and these are more rare. And we're almost 90. We're 90. What percentage are we minted? 92%.
It was 92 or 93%. Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
But this is the guy we're giving away today, and we're about to. It is on the XRP ledger. We're giving him away, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Randy Babb, what is up, Randy? Good to see you on here. Great program.
Freedom, baby, freedom.
Freedom.
I think we have the only like crypto / geopolitical podcast. I don't think a lot of people really do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove that, and I'm gonna
Based Amy. You need to type Yeti right there. Type that in real quick. Based Amy. Type in Yeti exactly as written on the screen.
Type that in. YETI. The Uitblinker, did you do that as well?
I think I
you
saw.
Also have to type in Yeti. Type in Yeti.
I just bought one. Nice.
Boom.
In Anglet. There you go. Appreciate
Beautiful.
it. Thank
you
very
I'll
much.
Register.
Yeti.
There you go.
Sweet.
So now you're in the contest. You see right there. It says 23.
Well.
Entries 23. And all this is just a random one. Sweet. So if you type it more than once, you only enter it once. And then when I go ahead and click draw, it will run through it. And the only thing we have is a 30-day moratorium. So if you've won, you can't win twice within 30 days. Give everybody a shot at it. Yep. And we'll find out if you won. Some people are really lucky, like that guy Charles. Charles is a really lucky dude.
Charles.
So let's see what we got going on here. There's 23 in here. I think it's good to do.
No, 23. All right,
gotta win this one. Osmond's got to win this one. Yo, sounds strong.
Music here in a second.
Oh, super strong. Super strong.
Yo.
There we go.
Yo's one of the Titans.
It's not
Titans
Yetis. It's just Yeti. You got it right here.
Yetis.
There we go.
Is
badass.
Sorry,
guys, thanks for the offer and join the live. No worries, man. I thought you could, if you wanted to have one there, it's cool. But that's good. You give everyone else a chance. Momenta, what's going on, Scotty? Scotty's here. Scotto. Let's do it, guys. Ready?
All right.
I'm going to go ahead. Stick it up. Ready, guys? Let's go. Can't wait to see who's going to win. Boom.
Go.
There it goes.
Go.
Go. Badass Yetis. Go.
Hey, everyone's name's coming up.
Who's gonna be Ray Run? Check
Ray
Ray
Run.
Is Ray Run? Check Ray Run.
Ray Run.
Ray Run. And then Ray, if you're here, which you're gonna have to do. All right, cool. Flying to the U.S. tomorrow. That's awesome. Where you headed? Where you headed there, based Amy?
No. Ray Run won back in November.
All right, Ray Run is. You checked the White Tribe as well?
Oh, I did not check the White Tribe.
I don't think he's won recently. Did he win? All right, Ray. We also need your X handle too, so we can post it and get it out there, which would be great. Yeah. Badass it is. Congrats, Ray Run. Getting a lot of congratulations here. There we go, Ray the Moss. Ray the Muss is going, why wasn't it Ray the Muss instead of Ray Run? We got two Rays there. We got Ray the Muss. And he's in New Zealand, I believe, right, Ray? I believe so.
Ray the Muss in New Zealand.
Pete said, I was told this was rigged. F it, I'm going to go get vexed. Come on, Pete, don't do it. Please. Come back again. You'll win again. Come back on Wednesday. You have a shot to win this thing. You can do it. Fun to win. Yeah, it is fun to win. It's cool.
Okay, let's see. Ray Run.
So
Ray actually won a White Tribe back in January. No, February.
Okay, dude, you're good.
That was a while ago.
30 days. Within 30 days, you're good. Ray Run. Congratulations. You see that badass he's got right there? Look at that. That's his last winner right there. That's another badass Yeti.
Nice. All right.
Beautiful.
Open up the YouTube. Hang on a minute.
It says it's rigged. Rigged. When's the next one? We do it on Wednesday, same time. Which is good if you're going to be in the U.S., but I guess you'll probably be busy doing other stuff and having fun. 8 o'clock on Wednesday, then we do it 8 a.m. on Saturday. So if you're in the UK, it's, what is that, 12 or 1? Something like that. Wednesday, that's correct. Wednesday at the same time, same channel. Go ahead and subscribe and then click that notifier bell. And I guarantee you will not be notified. We never are, so.
All right.
We never get notified, Jeff, of what's going on.
Lack of notification. So did Ray Run put it in there? I'm looking.
Yeah, you put it in there. Like he was super quick on that. Right
Oh,
there,
look at
Jeff.
that.
Bam.
Bam. Oh, everything's
on
in
it.
here too. We got a
He's
dot.
on it. We just needed the X handle. We have the X post.
I see it. Hang on.
Where's the X post?
There we
Where is that
go.
X post?
No, that's in there too.
Oh, that's
Number.
awesome. Thank you. By the way, thank you for that support.
23.
Appreciate that, Amy. Said she hasn't bought an NFT for ages, trying to resist, have thousands. Yeah, it is kind of. The problem is once you go on like XRP Cafe, it's really hard not to like pull the trigger on. There's so many cool NFTs out there, man.
Yeah,
that's
easy
correct.
to do.
8 p.m. Eastern time. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, appreciate you, Art. Thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate it.
Art on
Charles,
the
you
lake.
cannot say Rick, dude. You are the winningest. You are the all-time winner. Although I guess
think
Ray's
so.
coming up. If he's already won twice, I don't know. I think Ray, you
Hey,
hold
here
the
we go.
record right now.
We're getting ready to transfer this bad boy over to Ray right here, live on the ledger.
Beautiful. Beautiful, people. Yeah, so yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday evening, and there we go.
Here we
That's
go.
all I know.
Swiped. Now I'm going to thumbprint authenticate it. It's verifying. It is been submitted. And that's it. Submitted successfully. You now are the proud owner of Badass Yeti number 23, Gio of the Titan. Clan Titan from the Blue Tribe. And that's it. That was awesome. See how fast that transaction was? Boom. It takes longer
It's amazing.
for me to find
XRPL,
everything.
baby. Yeah, it's not just an NFT. They're all potential actors. The best movie of all time, which will be recorded soon. Yeah, that's as
Right.
AI gets better, we got some big plans, which is awesome. Listen to this guy right here. Listen to what this guy says about Europe and what's happening. Listen to
One
this
of
right
the biggest stories of this century is that Europe is falling apart. Many continue to deny this is happening, but here are 5 indisputable facts to prove it. Number 1, Mississippi is now wealthier than Europe's top economies. So America's poorest state now has a higher per capita GDP than the big 5 economies of Europe. We're talking UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. Number 2, European...
Jeff, is that insane? The per capita. I mean, that's
Thanks,
insane.
Thanks, Based Amy. Based Amy said first time, but not last. Oh, I can't read it here.
But not last
But
time.
not
Sub,
last
hit the bell.
time.
Thank you.
Viewers subs hit the
Yeah,
bell.
thanks for
Cheers,
coming in.
loving the
Appreciate
base
it.
chat. That's awesome.
That's awesome. We love it.
And over in the
power
UK,
is collapsing.
it's late over
The
there.
disposable
Super late.
income for the average American is now 80% higher than the average UK or French citizen and about 50% higher than the average German. Number 3, European companies have stagnated. So Nvidia alone is worth more than every company on the UK stock market combined.
What?
Number 4, Europe has the lowest fertility rate of any continent. So all those generous social welfare programs that Europe
Let me translate that. Conquered. That's the word you need to understand and learn. Conquered.
is famous for, they're all going to collapse because there are going to be way more
Italy
seniors
first.
taking from the system than there are young people paying into it. But there is one way for Europe to get out of this mess, and that's through the potential productivity gains of new tech like AI and robotics. But sadly, and this brings us to number 5, Europe is not competitive in any of these areas. There are no European AI leaders, no chip makers, no rocket companies, no social media giants, no relevant players in space technology, drones, battery storage, crypto and blockchain, robots.
Dude, take it easy, man. You're it's like, you know, he's piling on here.
These people don't even have fucking air conditioning. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Europe. I'm rooting for them. But you guys need to get your shit together.
He was really piling on there, Jeff. Listen, man, I'm excited that I'm excited that they're hanging the Union Jack up. I'm excited that they're hanging flags everywhere, that the Patriots are coming out, that they're organizing. I like to see this, but it's going to take a lot more than protests. It's going to take some action. And,
Right.
you know, like the Tories, we call them Democrats over here. Your label department is like extreme Democrats. They're both the same. So that's kind of how we see it. And I want it to do well, man. I have a lot of respect for, you know, the UK. It's a great, like Charlie Kirk said, he's bang on. We had a revolution. That's how we ended it. That was the only thing. That was the only thing that kind of like got to it, Jeff. It was only really what it came. And then one more video, we're out of here, Jeff. I mean it.
All
This
right.
is it. This woman that posed the question. She wants to know, should Trump run for the 3rd term? Let's see.
Run for a third term?
I would like Trump to be the dictator of this motherfucker. I like that white man. Y'all think it's a joke.
Man, Trump should run for a 5th term, a 6th term. He should run a marathon. I don't know. He should run for everything, man. He should run for a top 5 rappers that are alive. I don't know. Donald Trump should run for everything, man. I think if Donald Trump had an ice cream truck company, it'd be the best ice cream truck company in the world. Whatever he does, whatever he puts his hand on, it turns it to gold.
Do you think Trump should run for a third term?
Man, Trump needs to run for 100 terms.
Why?
He keeping us safe. He got on lockdown. Ain't nobody gonna with us as long as Big Trump in the office. You talking about?
Should Trump run for a third term?
No, he shouldn't run for a third term. He should just be president for life.
Why?
Because we need a dictator. We need somebody like Trump who doesn't give a fuck and does whatever he wants and puts the American people first. I know that the economy is booming. I know that illegal immigration is at an all-time low. I know that businesses are thriving. I know that the streets are cleaned up. And I know that America is being restored to its most prosperous state, which it was, not anymore, but now it is again. So yeah, I think he should be allowed to just stay in office.
Do you think Trump should run for a third term?
Absolutely. If he can, I hope he can run for 5 terms. All I know is I get up every single day. I don't prefer listening to the news. Every single time I turn on the radio, bad news, bad news, bad news, stupid dog from Biden. And now if I turn it on for 5 minutes, all I hear is one more great thing, one more great thing, one more great thing. And then I go to NPR for a few minutes when the commercials come on. Trump is a danger to democracy. It's like the most ridiculous clown-ass bullshit you ever heard.
What do they call him? The naked cowboy in Times Square? That dude, he's been there forever. It gets kind of cold to get out there with the snow like that. But anyway, guys, that's all we have for you guys. Guys, fantastic. We have air conditioning, but it's bad, and many are leaving. We are now in Paraguay. Ah, good, man.
Who said
they like
that?
it down there.
Who said they
Paraguay,
have
Joe
air
Buddy.
conditioning?
Joe Buddy, did you get your Yeti? 51% of Europe does not have air conditioning, and it makes no sense. Well, I don't think it gets hot enough, and it's not hot enough long enough, so I think you're probably right, landing a good point. And they've got thousands of years of tradition of not wearing that. It's always like, I always thought it was funny that you'd have like your washing machine in your kitchen. And meanwhile, we've got these massive industrial washing machines. You throw the clothes in there and it does everything, man. It's fantastic. Charles is already out of here, man. He says, I'm out. You got it. Okay, cool, man. Very good. I wanted to make sure, dude. I wanted to make sure. In Norway, it makes sense. Okay, there you go. Well, it makes sense to have heat in Norway. I will say that. That was a weird moment. Top marks. Appreciate that guy. XRP to the moon. Guys, that's all the time we have. Jeff, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
To the moon. To the moon.
To the moon?
What's today? Today's Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
We'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with more amazing content, with more, with all you great people. We always have fun. The show was always reading the comments and, getting to, meet and see some of the new people that are popping into the show. So we appreciate you guys and look forward to seeing everybody back here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday.
Wednesday. See you then, guys. Have a great beginning of your week. Have a great week. See you on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.